Alright, welcome to my video about the PC build I'm going to be making. This is going to be based around a 2005 system. So with that in mind, we have our motherboard, which is the Asus A1800XT This is a SLI board, so it supports dual SLI. I think this board maxes out about 4 gigs, but for what we're using it for, we're not going to be using 4 gigs of RAM, but we are using this wonderful OCZ Performance Series RAM. Or is it Platinum RAM? No, it's not Platinum, it's Performance. And to really give this a proper feel, we're going for the bang for the buck 3800 plus socket 939. And that is the bang for the buck CPU of the time, really. It's like the Q6600 of its era. And on top of that, we have this Zalman cooler here. And this was I think this is a 9700. I don't know. I think it's the 9700. I can't remember. A lot of these Zalman fans look really similar. And we've also got a few drives here. So we've got a Raptor drive, 74 gigs. This is actually a bit too new for the system, if I'm honest, but we'll just omit that because you could get 36 gig Raptors, but I'd rather use 178, so just saving the issues. And then we've got 2 storage drives, which are both Samsung drives, and they are 320 gig at 72 RPM. And again, these drives are newer, but you could have got the similar spec at the time. And let's talk about power supply. For power supply, we have a OCZ 600 watt power supply. I know what people are saying. Oh, you're using an old power supply? Are you going to try to destroy your system beforehand? And I don't think there's anything wrong with this power supply. Yes, it may be old, but it's still a quality power supply from the time. And from the looks of it, it doesn't actually have that much use on it. And it was what came with this bundle, because what happened is that I bought the bundle because it was going dirt cheap, and I thought that looks like a socket 939, and I haven't had one of those since I built my first ever computer, which happened to be a socket 939, which happened to be this CPU, but it was an MSI board which was really flaky. So flaky, I think it might have popped a few caps. That was new. Oh, and this wonderful GPU which I got here. It is a rare GPU actually. You don't really see this particular model very often. It's the X1800XT 512 megabyte edition. And I know you're thinking, wow, this is like nothing. But for the time, this thing was going against the 7800 GTX, I think. And this thing was either on par or beating it in most tests from memory. And what else is there? Oh, we have the case. Just give me one moment. We have this case right here, which also came part of a bundle, and I actually went to go and get this because it had a motherboard I really wanted. And if you're wondering what that motherboard was, it was an X58 EVGA board, and it had a wonderful CPU as well. And if you're wondering about the bed sheet, that's my wife. She likes Minions. And there we go. So this is the Lian LI V1000. It's a very, very spacious and great looking case. This thing is in great condition for its age. This thing is 19 years old. I've seen 19-year-old people who look in worse condition than this case. So this thing is looking absolutely amazing. I am very, very, very chuffed to be building this system in this. Hopefully it will work very well and have no complications. I won't be documenting the whole build process because, you know, you guys, if you're watching this, you're into retro parts. If you're into retro parts, then you know how to build a computer. And you don't want to learn from me because I'm crap at it. Yes, so
I'll see you guys.
That was an absolute ball ache. So what happened was with this system, there are a few testing bugs with this system. Like it didn't like any SATA DVD drive. So I have an IDE one here. Luckily enough, I have a few of those. Just somehow managed to accumulate them. I didn't want to buy them, but they just seemed to come with systems. In fact, it came with this bundle, the one which it liked, so that's in there as well. Okay, and then the onboard sound wouldn't work, so I've had to put in a Sound Blaster 4 into the system, and the driver would refuse to install unless I disabled the onboard sound on the motherboard. Yay, fun. And then the cable management looks shit because of one good reason. These SATA cables barely reach down here. I tried to route them around the back and they're not actually long enough because the SATA ports are right up there at the top of the board. So that was a ball ache. And then let's talk about mounting these drives. I thought it would have like a simple lock system built into the case. No, you need special screws. So I had to go into my little tin full of spare screws which I've accumulated over the last 15 years. And I had to find 12 screws. I found 11. And they fit, they're in. I dare touch these. And so yes, that was for, oh, and also the plate for the, like, what was it? It's like an adapter plate to fit the power supply. Yeah, that doesn't really fit properly because it's missing. Did not realize it when I got the case. So it's in now. I need to get some sort of third-party bracket. The moment one thumb screws in with a spare Molex underneath, stopping it from moving. So if you look at it, it's not really moving or anything. It's just not as secure as I would like. And then this little sod would keep catching. And that was a pain in the bum. Absolute pain. Mind you, I'm quite happy about these two bottom plates here. You probably can't tell because the video is so low quality that those are actually plastic and aluminium. I managed to scavenge it off another case and it kind of blends in. So the whole system, it looks really nice. Like, I'll turn it on now. Yeah, it's very loud when you first start it up and then it should calm down. There it goes. And then the graphic card will follow shortly. And now it's quiet. We're booting off the TV, the 26-inch TV, which does not like its native resolution. So this is what, 1024 by 768 or something? Some wonderful resolution. But yeah, this is now my XP machine, which I had no real intention of building an XP machine. But you know what it's like, you kind of get into, like, thank you XP, you kind of buy something for something else and then you see something else which you wanted and then it leads you down this rabbit hole. Like, I kind of wanted that graphic card because I thought it was an X1900 and I used to have one of those until it died horribly for no reason. But this one here seems to have very little use on it. I actually opened up to clean it and there was just a small layer of dust at the front there, but nothing inside the actual aluminium copper area, which was a bit surprising. This thing had light dust, but nothing obscene, and the whole board itself didn't have much dust. So from yesterday, I picked up this case, and now I have literally a whole system. The only thing I've added, which was not mine, which was mine, a couple of days ago, was the 3 drives, because I got 2 320 gig drives, 1 Raptor drive, and 2 fans which I just had lying around. And no, I didn't put any LED fans into this thing because I don't think it really suits the aesthetic. I can't speak now. It's been a long 2 or 3 hours. I've never had such a interesting time trying to build a computer, but hopefully this will be worth it because this will be a period correct Windows XP gaming PC of which would have been quite high end at the time. I mean, socket 939 over a Pentium D, because this thing was literally trouncing the Pentium D at the time. You have the X1800XT, that's a pretty decent card. Then you have these Performance Series RAM with really low latency timings. I mean, this system, I know it's a piece of junk now, but back then would have been amazing. Anyway, hopefully I'll make more videos. Depends if people actually watch this one. So if more than 3 people watch this video, alright, this has been a bit of a nightmare really. Installing Vista, yeah. Every single XP USB key now is now having issues installing on this system, as the OCZ power supply completely conked out. Even though it looked fine, it didn't look like I had much use on it. I know that the 4-pin power thing looked like as if it had been modified slightly, but it looked like as if it had been done in a reasonable quality, and it was being used by the previous owner for many years, apparently. So yeah, this is fun, and yeah, I'm just so thrilled. I really am starting to fall out of love with this system, because when I first started to build it, I had a lot of nostalgia for my first ever PC, and it wasn't inside this kind of piece, inside this kind of case naturally, but it's finally loaded, which is fantastic. It's finally loaded, but I really didn't want to install Vista on this thing. This thing's not really designed for Vista, and I've already got Vista machines. I actually don't mind Vista, but not with this kind of hardware. Anyway, hopefully I've renamed this system to Problem Box now, because it's literally created me hours of problems. Right, so hopefully this is the last part of this saga. So what I've done, I've reinstalled XP from a CD. I have permanently changed the power supply to an Enermax 600 watt power supply, which is overkill for this system. And I have been doing some stress testing of the system. It's currently got Oblivion. You see my character just going around in circles. It's been doing that for about an hour, and last time I did that test, that's when the power supply went pop, which is now inside the bin, which I'm a bit sad about, because I kind of like OCZ and they're not with us anymore, and I wanted more of their products inside the system. But overall, I am quite pleased with the look of the case, the system in general. The performance of this system is actually quite decent. Like, when Oblivion first came out, I remember that being an absolute pain to run and being very hard, and you would need something like an 8800 series card to even get decent frame rates. But this X1800XT, which I think this is the first one I've ever seen of this card, because I think this card was only out for like less than 6 months before it got replaced because it was late or something. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But it runs really well, and overall the system, it just seems to be good, and I'm just going to be enjoying this one. I'm quite new to this whole uploading YouTube stuff, so if you like my videos, you know, leave me a comment about what you liked, what you don't like. Be kind, because I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this just for fun. So be kind. And finally, if you have any idea where I can find accessories for this case, because I would love to have this case keep going, because it's a beautiful case. And if you guys liked my video, subscribe, like, you get all that other jazz. And hopefully inside the future I'll have some more videos coming.